Ramani Perpage, who is our Distractology trainer for the...
Been doing it.
And how have you seen drivers improve through this program? You can hear and start crashing, or are they generally pretty laid back?
They are more laid back when they come in, and they don't expect what happens. They definitely do a lot better towards...
Accident driven before, but I've never really gotten in an accident like on the simulator, so...
Wheel.
Just to add some distraction to this while you're driving, how would you compare what you're doing on screen now to what you think you normally do when you're driving?
Then, you know, maybe I would be like, if there was a stop sign or a red light.
So Nick, if you could take us through and show us a couple of the different features of this particular
steering wheel. Okay, the gas pedal, the brake, they have their seat belt, which they put on too. So everything like a real car.
And are these
just, you know, high chance of getting into a crash if you're looking down. So they are looking down at their cell phone.
I expected it to. You do have your two side views, which is very similar to looking through. I assume I'm going to get a car accident shortly. So we've entered into a scenario now. The speed limit has increased by 20 miles per hour. And tell me that I am allowed to start texting as well, as though I was actually driving of this process. The only adjustment I have made as compared to the scenario I was just through is I have decided to stick the mic in my vest screen for seconds at least at a time. While I was successful at getting my text off, I was also successful at putting my... Just the knowledge that led you to bring this to Acton?
Yes. I have one client. She just graduated from the college, and she went to Florida to participate in her cousin's graduate ceremony. Unfortunately, they had a fatal crash. 5 people was died in that accident. It reminded me that if we can do...
Appreciate the fact that you have brought this to Acton, and we look forward to seeing how this program works, and hopefully a lot of students get a chance to go through the program.
Great, thank you.
Zach, based upon your experience and what you've gone through with this program, would you recommend this for others?
Yeah, definitely.
At what stage of their driving would you recommend it? So a permit stage, after a year, after a few years, what would you recommend?
I think it's important for kids to understand the issues and the dangers of texting while driving probably earlier rather than later. So maybe like when they have their permit or right when they get their license.
And how does one get to participate in this? Can anybody walk through that door, or does it involve scheduling?
So we actually have a host each week. This week, the host is Owen. So every week we have a host, and they actually have to sign up either through them or with the school. Whoever decides to take responsibility that week. So they have to sign up whether we're at a school or we're at an office of an agency. And usually, you know, anyone that's in the local area, it's hooked up with Arbella or something like that. Anyone that is between those ages.
Didn't see this video and believe this is something they want to do themselves, or have a student that wants to do this, but the program is no longer here in Acton. How would they go through the process of locating you?
Well, our website has our tool, u.com. So distract and then the letter u.com. Summer to by appointment.
Nearly 10,000 new drivers, meaning those that have been licensed while driving, and 38% less comfortable with the idea of multitasking behind the wheel. The Distractology driving simulator, which is based upon research conducted at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, is traveling to various communities in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island throughout the school year, offering 45 minutes of simulated distracted driving to each participant. So that concludes our tour of the Arbella Insurance Foundation's Distractology 101 program. I want to thank Nick and Owen for inviting us to come here and letting ActonTV take a tour. And I appreciate you guys answering some questions for us. Is there anybody you would like to say hello to or goodbye to?
I'm glad that I have this opportunity to bring this Distractology 101 to Acton. I'm a long-term resident here. I love my town. I want to do it next year. Thank you.
Well, we truly appreciate the fact that you've brought it. And so for ActonTV, I'm William Garnett. Have yourselves a good day.